everybody, it's Mike, and tonight we're giving you the smoothest vibe in the game. This is our brand new Smooth Berry Thrillers in.
And I'm bringing the heat with Mamba Mint.
Cool, clean, and clutch.
Just like we like it.
Only while we're live, so hit that. Look, I'm just saying, more people showed up to mine. There were helicopters, the streets were blocked off. It was a whole world event. That's not shade, that's facts. Yours was cool, very intimate, very purple, but
You see the movements. I invented the step.
You didn't even know what rhythm was until you saw me.
Lies, propaganda from a glitter club.
Groove, man. You can't even.
Gentlemen, hey, let's calm down.
That burger looks tasty as fuck.
Hey, give back the burger.
What I have just shown you is a bunch of AI slop that is going disgustingly viral on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and they are getting rewarded in droves and leaps and bounds because people are saying, this is amazing, this is cool, this is fun, because the average person, the very regular person, doesn't care about the damages or the holistic effects of what is happening because of AI. We are living in the great slopification. You, all of us, are living through a mass voluntary lobotomy. A cultural shift where we're not just accepting, but actively rewarding the most bland, algorithmically generated, nutrient-free slop ever conceived. This is now a problem. I made a video about this before, but I don't think you really grasp the big issue now that we're having. We're doing this with a smile on our faces because the delivery mechanism is so convenient. It's fun. It's cool. We get to see our idols interact. We get to see the cool things. They're promoting brands. You watch Michael Jackson promote a brand. He's gone. He's gone forever. We don't get to see him anymore. This is beyond dancing on over the grave. This is dressing up the corpse and having him still perform and dance. To be an artist is to perform, and to be this is to be beyond that. This is disrespectful. It always starts with the platforms that have rewired your brains. Rewired your brains to keep up and watch. Oh, look, it's the Subway Surfers on screen. Look at that. Subway Surfers. Look, it's Subway Surfers, guys. Hold on. Wait, look at that. Look at, he's doing pretty good, isn't he? Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? TikTok and YouTube don't reward artistry or nuance or invoking anything in your brain. They reward the immediate hit. A video titled, I asked an AI to write a Seinfeld scene about Minecraft, is not a creative endeavor. It's a content husk, a hollowed out concept executed by a machine, and it will garner millions of views because the idea of it, the idea, oh, that's pretty cool. It's digestible enough to be consumed and forgotten in the same 30-second scroll. The platform's algorithm, a perfect idiot savant. It's the perfect idiot savant that only understands engagement metrics, sees those quick, cheap, AI-generated videos getting rapid completion rates and shares, and it pushes them to the top, creating a feedback loop where human creators are forced to either start using the slot machine or be drowned by the infinite automated tide of what the slop is doing. And this is a combined video, by the way. This isn't just about videos. No. This is everything AI, slop related. The entire foundation of how we interact with information is being replaced by AI summaries. There's an AI summary on this video about what I'm talking about. You see a fascinating long-form investigative article from a reputable magazine. You don't read it. You don't read it. You don't. You know what you get? You get a copy of the text from ChatGPT. You get Google's AI overview with the prompts. Summarize this. You get 3 bullet points. You feel informed, but you haven't ingested anything. The writer's narrative flow, their carefully placed evidence, their turns of phrase, the soul of the piece. You've consumed the nutritional information on the side of the box instead of eating the actual meal. Well, this has iron, potassium, protein, this has this, this has that. You haven't done anything. You know what's crazy and what's horrible? These AI summaries are often wrong or missing crucial context or outright hallucinating facts. But we don't care because it's the feeling of being informed. And that's enough for us. We are outsourcing our comprehension to a machine that does not comprehend, creating a society that is confident and understands the world based on a collection of confidently stated machine-generated errors. I made an error right there. Look at that. Machine-generated errors. This is a horrifying now statement to live. This is now a horrifying state to live in. I think one thing we harp on a lot about AI that everybody always gets in the tizzy about is the art. It's always the art. It's always the big thing. Make a image in the style of Studio Ghibli, but cyberpunk, and make the character look sad. And then it pops out. Or here goes my face. I gave you my face. Make it Studio Ghibli like. Get a filter over it and you share it on Facebook. Get a bunch of likes and everybody says, "Wow, this is so cool. They can make an anime about you. That'd be amazing." The result is a technically proficient, aesthetically pleasing, and utterly soulless image. It has no author, no intention, no story behind the brushstrokes or the pixels that it generated. It's a visual placebo. It gives you the feeling of art without any of the human struggle, the years of practice, the unique perspective of an artist interpreting the world. We are flooding our visual landscape with these beautiful ghosts, these perfect corpses of imagery, and convincing ourselves it's just as good because it's cheaper and faster. We are trading the Sistine Chapel for an infinite, procedurally generated hallway of slightly different ceiling tiles. That is what we're doing. It's stupid. Now, I'm going to talk about the job market because this is where the slop becomes an active, life-destroying force. And I'm going to make a whole video about this later, but I'm pretty sure you're curious about why you're not getting a job when you had ChatGPT make your resume. Well, ChatGPT is also reading your resume because the hiring offices are using those. And then you're getting automatically filtered down because it's been known that, bam, AI is reading AI. It knows its own language. I know this writing. I wrote it myself. So ChatGPT is immediately throwing those out, and you messed up. And you can spend days, weeks tailoring a resume, writing a cover letter, trying to present your unique human experience. You could do that. You submit it, and it will not still go to a human. It goes to an applicant tracking system. Probably don't know what that is. When I worked in HR, they were trying to implement this, and I have a friend who still works in the HR that I was working in before, and now they have an applicant tracking system. It's an AI slot filter that scans for keywords, and an increasing number of cases uses a language model to grade your application. This AI has no understanding of grit, of passion, of unconventional career paths. It is looking for a specific set of buzzwords and a cookie-cutter career narrative. If you don't match the slot profile, you're discarded. You're not even granted the dignity of a human seeing your rejection. You're not. The gatekeeper is now a machine trained on the slop of past successful applications, ensuring the only future slop can get through. That's it. We are building a workforce selected for its ability to resemble an AI's idea of a good employee. And this extends to the workplace itself. Corporate emails are now written by AI. Hey team, just looping back to synergize on the Q3 deliverables. Let's take this offline and circle back for the North Star. What does that even mean? What is that? This is AI generated slop speak, a language devoid of meaning, designed to sound professional while communicating nothing. Just nothing. Reports are AI summarized. Meeting notes are generated by AI. The very texture of professional communication is being sanded down to a smooth beige paste. The human voice, with its quirks and its hesitations, its moments of genuine insight or frustration, is being systematically erased and replaced with corporate approval. It's stupid. It's just algorithmic. It's just slop. It's just slop. Consider the news cycle for a moment, if you would. Headlines are increasingly written by AI to maximize clicks because it works. Articles are augmented with AI-generated text to fill in gaps. Soon, entire news stories will be written by machines scanning data feeds. That's what it's going to be. The human reporter on the ground? Nope. No context, no sources, no gut feeling. It's being made obsolete by a machine that can churn out 500 serviceable words in 10 seconds. We are creating an information ecosystem that is a hall of mirrors. That's all it is. That's all that's happening. It's just a loop. We're hamsters stuck in it. Even our personal interactions are being slopified. You have a difficult email you need to write to a friend? Draft it in GPT. Make it sound more compassionate, but also firm. The result is a perfectly grammatically correct, emotionally calculated, and utterly generic piece of text that sounds nothing like you. You are outsourcing your humanity, your vulnerability, your unique way of expressing care or setting boundaries to a machine. We are slowly replacing our own voices with a collective, averaged, AI mediated monotone. That's all we're doing. And what is the end result of all this? A society that is losing its texture. We are surrounding ourselves with content we didn't create, summarizing information we didn't read, applying for jobs we aren't seen for, communicating in a language we didn't invent, and consuming art that has no artist. We are becoming consumers of our own obsolete nature. That's it. Cheering on the machines that are making us irrelevant. The AI doesn't need to rebel. No. I always thought it'd be some Skynet, Terminator level garbage that's going to take us all out, but that's not what we need. We are willingly handing it the keys to every kingdom, from creativity to employment to basic human communication, because the slop it produces is just easier. It sucks. And I think the worst part of this all is that it's wrapped up in the language of efficiency and accessibility. They often say, now everyone can be an artist. No, now everyone can commission a ghost. It makes research so much faster. Oh my God, this is amazing. No, it doesn't. It makes finding simplified, often incorrect answers faster. Well, it streamlines the hiring process. Yes, it streamlines it into a sterile, inhuman pipeline that filters out originality and passion. We are mistaking the removal of friction for the addition of value. That's not real. And in doing so, we are sanding down every interesting, rough human edge we have left. We are building a world for the convenience of machines, not for the flourishing of humans. A world where the ultimate goal is seamless, frictionless, automated production and consumption of slop. A world where the question is no longer, is it true, or is it beautiful, or even is it meaningful, but rather, did it perform well on the metrics? We are training ourselves to value the output of the system over the integrity of the content. And in doing so, we are becoming slop ourselves. The reason I'm so good at talking to people is because everybody's become smooth, predictable, and easily digestible data points in the machine grid. That's it. Meaningless designs. And the horrifying part, most of us are too busy watching the next AI-generated viral video to notice that we're on the menu. Now, at this point in the video, I'm sure someone's going to click off, or maybe they're going to start typing out their defense. And I want to get to the defense of what they say. The crazy, comfortable lie that we tell ourselves to sleep at night all the time, as we're handing over the keys to our own humanity. And it's the number one retort, the shield for every AI atrocity is this: we need to use the tools. Accessibility. This is a profound and dangerous confusion of terms. Making something accessible does not mean simplify and make it available or easy. Accessible does not mean easy. A ramp to a building makes a physical space accessible to the person in a wheelchair. It expands human agency. Handing a person a pre-digested, machine-generated summary of War and Peace and calling it accessible is not expanding their agency. It is robbing them of the experience of reading War and Peace. You haven't made the novel's nuances or the beauty of it accessible. You have replaced the novel with a pale, soulless ghost of itself and called it a victory. True accessibility empowers. That's what it does. AI slop, are you making AI generated thumbnails? Are you using it to make a filter for yourself? It doesn't empower you. This AI accessibility often just creates a dependency, a learned helplessness, where we no longer even attempt the complex, rewarding work of genuine understanding. You're probably wondering to yourself, how are you able to have all these words coalesce inside of your brain? How are you able to say that? Because I spent years talking. Sometimes I don't do all this extra talking. Sometimes I just get right to the point. But I need to do this because it's a measure of my intelligence. It's a measure of my wisdom to use these words. And I keep hearing people say it's a tool analogy. This is a misrepresentation. A hammer is a tool. It amplifies the force and the intention of the carpenter. The carpenter's vision, skill, and knowledge are paramount to the hammer. It is an extension of their will. Generative AI is not a hammer. It's a contractor you hire who shows up with prefabricated walls and a generic blueprint. And when you ask for a custom house, it slaps together something that looks like a house from a distance but has no foundation, no plumbing, and the windows are just pictures of windows. You didn't build a house, you outsourced the entire act of creation to an entity that has no understanding of shelter, safety, and beauty. Calling this a tool is an insult to every actual tool humanity has ever used to build its world. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Favorite thing I've read is that it helps with disabilities. That's stupid. It's dumb. We must ask ourselves, helps them do what exactly? If the help is to make a non-verbal person communicate, specialized dedicated AAC device is a world away from a general purpose LLM that confidently makes up facts. If the goal is to describe images for the blind, a system designed for that purpose is noble. But using these specific valid use cases as a blanket defense for the entire sloppy, truth agnostic, culture devouring AI industry is a bait and switch. It's like using the existence of life-saving prescriptions to defend the unchecked use of heroin. You're equating the two. The tool is defined by its specific controlled application, unleashing a technology that destabilizes the very fabric of truth and art because it might have a niche beneficial application. It's like using a flamethrower to light a candle. You're doing too much. And that's what leads me to the core of the rebuttal that people use. The cost of this so-called accessibility is the very ground we stand on, and I do mean that. When we make art accessible by letting anyone type the prompt, we devalue the thousands of hours of practice, observation, and struggle that go into developing a unique artistic voice. We are trading a world of rich, diverse human perspective for a centralized, average, corporate-owned style. When we make information accessible with AI summaries, we are destroying the market for investigative journalism, for long-form writing. For the very professions that uncover the truths the AI is summarizing, you are not making the information accessible. You are killing the source of the information and leaving yourself with a parasite that will eventually have nothing left to feed on besides itself. And I think the most insidious part of when people say that it's just a tool, this rhetoric, is that it reinforces it as a fear of progress. I believe it's called Luddism. Luddism. I think it's Luddism. I may be wrong about that. Somebody correct me, please. This isn't about stopping progress. This is about defining progress. Is progress a world where we no longer read books? Is that progress? Is that progress? Where we read book summaries written by a machine that never felt an emotion? Is progress a world where we no longer make art but commission aesthetic products from a database? Is progress a world where we no longer think through difficult problems but outsource our reasoning to a statistical prediction engine? If that is progress, then it is progress towards a profoundly impoverished, passive, and sterile existence. This isn't a fear of the new. It's a defense of the human within us. Yes, you have the tools. It makes things accessible. I'm going to look you dead in the eyes when you say this to me and say, you are not offering me a tool. You are offering me a cage. You are not offering me accessibility to a richer world. You're offering me a convenient shortcut out of it. You are asking me to trade my capacity for struggle, for learning, for creation, and for genuine connection for the cold, efficient comfort of a digital caretaker. And I am not interested in living in a well-managed zoo, no matter how accessible. It's dumb. I would rather struggle with the beautiful, difficult, and profoundly human work of being alive. You know how hard this video was to make? You grasp how hard this video was to make? Probably don't, do you? Because you probably think that we sound so AI generated. No. I have spent time, I have spent moments of my life in the quiet comfort of my own self, figuring out how to speak. That's what I've done. It takes time. It takes time to be here. I'm going to edit this video now. then I'm going to take a nap. This is depressing, and I hate every second of it. Have a lovely day.
I'm your Nick and night, be my Laura Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.